Okay, I think we're recording. Welcome to the first edition of the Taking Back Sunday podcast. Talking Back Sunday. Huh?
Next Sunday.
I see what you've done there, and I like it.
I thought of that name, and I wanted to take away my Nintendo 64 and eat more broccoli for being such a hack.
Everybody loves a pun.
I guess. I hope so. But anyway, I thought we'd get together here because we haven't been in the same room since March. And I miss you guys. I miss creating things with you. We live in different states. We're not allowed to get together legally. So This is all we've got. And we figured we'd share it with the world. We could chat. We could answer questions if people want to get in touch with us. You can email us at takingbacksundaypod@gmail.com. But I thought we'd just start off what we've been up to. I've been doing much of nothing since the kids got out of school. I worked out today to have something to talk about on this podcast.
Have you been working out a lot?
No.
Just today. That's it.
It's like the first time in 2 weeks. I've like had a good run. I'll do like 3 days on, 2 weeks off. So I'm getting very strong.
Nice. I bet you look so ripped right now.
Yeah, you should see my gut. It's a full keg. Well, Mark, you're looking svelte.
Yeah.
I sure have been bike riding a lot.
You've been part of my motivation to get off my butt.
Yeah, I've been doing like 10 to 15 miles. Definitely not more in the 10 range a day.
That's a long way to go.
Yeah.
It is.
How long does that take you?
I'd say maybe about, I don't really know. Sometimes I'll split it up, one half in the morning, one half at night,
Oh, I see.
Do you have a fancy bike, or are you doing that on a beach cruiser?
No, I do it on I have a fancy pants bike.
Okay.
Nice, with like gears and everything?
It has gears. With the way the wind blows here, man, like
it's tough.
It's tough. Yeah.
Oh, because you're right, like you do it like on the boardwalk, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah. I went to the this is a really interesting story I thought I'd talk about.
The kids want to know.
I had to go get my brakes fixed so I went to the Dodge Durango, whatever they are.
Dealer?
To the dealership, and the guy was trying really hard to really screw me.
Yeah, like, did he say that you also needed a new engine?
He was, it's the brake line, it's the blah, blah, blah.
The Johnson rod.
I said to him, whatever it is, I just want to leave here knowing that it's covered under warranty. And he's like, oh, I can't do that. But he kept on showing, would you look at this? Yo, would you take a look at this? Oh my God. Doing that whole thing. And I was like, I've learned this lesson.
You know the act.
I've learned to just leave when I feel like this in my gut.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm out of here, Wayne.
So did you end up getting your brakes fixed there, or did you take it to another?
No. I literally just got home like 20 minutes ago from dealing with Wayne.
So you didn't have
he was trying to give it to me. He was trying to stick it to me.
He's giving you the business?
Oh, yeah.
Wayne. Freaking Wayne.
You give it right back.
Yeah.
You should go on your Twitter and let the world know what Wayne's up to there at the Dodge dealership.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Adam, they're wearing masks down there now. I think your rant at Honda worked, right?
So like I was going just to get the car, because every 5,000 miles you like get it checked up. Mm-hmm. And I went and like I just like pulled up, and there's like big glass kind of garage doors that you can see, and they were doing like, you wouldn't know that there was a pandemic going on if you looked in this place. So then I called them. I'm like, hey, are you doing any safety measures or anything? And they're like, yeah, we're social distancing. And I'm like, I'm looking at you right now on the phone because I'm right outside. And then I was like, what about masks? And he's like, oh, we're not required to do that. And then so I went full Karen, and I was like, well, I'm gonna need to talk to your manager. So like then he tells me that that the manager's on vacation, and if I have a complaint, I got to call corporate. So then I went like ultra Karen, and I called corporate, and they were and so anyways, filed a complaint. They called me back the next day from the dealership, and then the guys started arguing with me how wearing a mask was a matter of opinion. And then I spent like a half hour arguing with the guy till I realized, like, why am I wasting my time with this guy? I can just not go there ever again. And and then 2 days later, the governor here in North Carolina made a mask mandate finally.
Look at that.
And then then it was just a fun thing to do when I was bored, which is a lot of the time. And so I would just tweet at that Honda dealership about, hey, hope you guys are doing the right thing. And
I'll be checking on you.
yeah,
And so will the governor.
Yeah.
it's like I felt bad too, because nobody wants to be like the let me speak to your manager person, but it just like the cases keep rising and rising and rising. And it's because people are doing stuff like that, you know, so, or just not taking any kind of precaution. And then I think kind of in the South, there's this weird thing about like the government's, like it's tyranny or something, which is just so bonkers. And so, it just bothered me a whole lot. It bothered me so much that, like I said, I went full Karen.
Got to do what you got to do. And it worked.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they started wearing them because I was tweeting at them. I think it's because of the government. And I actually don't know if they're doing it now. I would hope so, but some of those people are the kind of people that are like it's fun because they think they're like
A rebel.
Yeah. And there's nothing rebellious about it. It's just selfish and not like it's unempathetic.
Well, it's just amazing what Japan has done. They had, I think, almost a total of around 800 deaths, maybe a little more. And New York had that in one day. It was very, very scary times. We started wearing masks. Things got progressively better. So I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea and very, very easy. And I'm not very inconvenienced. We're very inconvenienced by not being able to play shows, not being able to get to do our job and stuff. But how do we get to that quicker? I think we put on a mask and help our neighbor and things get better.
Yeah. I mean, it's like such a simple thing. Look, the thing is also like nobody wants to do that. Like nobody's I'm gonna go put my mask on and do some things in public. Like nobody wants to. It's just the right thing to do. Why is that so hard? And it's temporary. Like do this until things get under control, and then we can figure something else out.
And I think the CDC has said it.
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say the CDC has said in 4 to 6 weeks we can squash this thing, and that's a similar timeline to what happened here in New York. Go ahead, Mark.
I was going to say, think about there's got to be a few psychos out there that are really pumped to put on that mask and show everybody.
Oh, we're better than everybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's definitely that happening, but better that happens than somebody being like, well, you can't tell me what to do. This is government overreach. It's like, no, it's to keep people safe. Why can't you get your head around it?
I've seen people going for walks on the beach by themselves with no one around them, 20, 30 feet each direction, wearing the craziest masks. And I really want to be like, you can take that off while you're on a walk on the beach. You psycho.
Enjoy the air.
Common sense, people. Can anyone use common sense? No?
It's like I haven't been going out a lot, but anytime that I do have to go out, like to go to the store or something, and I put one on, like the urge to talk in the Tom Hardy Bane voice is so great. Like I just want to walk around like, no, it's not the time for fear, and then all that, which is ridiculous. But then on that hand, it's like, man, like anybody who's into like cosplay or anything right now is stoked.
Yeah. Have they made a mask with like the Bane looking thing like printed on it? Someone should do that.
Not even lying. I was on Etsy looking for one, and they have them, but they're not like, they're just kind of like little printed things. Like they don't look too awesome.
It doesn't really. You don't really look like Bane.
Yeah. Well, and then I remembered I was a grown man, and I searching for a Bane mask, right?
Yo, now is the time to do it. You know what I mean?
It's a global pandemic. Feel free to let your freak flag fly.
Yeah. That's a good slogan.
Anyone is free to use that. Global pandemic. John, how are things in Kansas? Things have gotten a lot better, right?
It's all right. It's not as bad as a lot of other places, but it's a bummer because when after all of the quarantining, at least like my county was down to like literally a handful of cases.
Yeah.
Like I think there was 5 active cases at one point.
Wow.
And then once the reopening started, it just kind of kept going up. And it's not like crazy here, but I think now there's probably like 200 active cases. So, again, like relatively speaking, not bad, but it was a bummer to go from feeling like, okay, we beat this thing to now it's like we're just kind of stalled out in phase 3.
Yeah.
So, but we're kind of living in a somewhat normal-ish world where, but people are kind of doing things, but we have to, everyone, they did a mask order here too, so that's good. Hopefully that's going to help. But, like people are kind of trying to do things with social distancing and masking. We're kind of like, sort of, I think, trying to have it both ways around here right now. But so we'll see what happens with that. But we got to hang out with Arrow and Ellen
Awesome.
Last weekend, which that is part of things kind of getting better. Is they were not able to see anybody really, like even family for months, and then Arrow was in the hospital for almost a month, and I think then once they were letting him out, they gave her the go ahead to let him start seeing family, like in a very cautious kind of way, like
that's awesome. John, could you give a little background on Arrow, just in case? Could you give a little background on Arrow in case people don't know his situation?
Oh yeah.
Because we know.
Don't know or remember. So yeah, we did a fundraiser at the Starland Ballroom show. It's my nephew, and he had to have a heart transplant, and fortunately he was able to get that transplant, and I would say it was about 4 months or so after the transplant that the pandemic started, and so he's obviously immunocompromised because of the transplant, and him and his mom, my sister-in-law Ellen, were living with us at that time after the transplant, and they had to move out because he couldn't even be around us, like in the house, because like if any of us did anything outside the house, it was immediately gonna put him in danger. So they had to get their own place and basically like not see anybody for months. So the fact that they could just like come over and kind of keep their distance and just hang out at all in any kind of way was like a huge milestone, and it was really nice. And he was in the hospital. He had to go in because he had pneumonia, and
That's scary.
Yeah, it was really scary. It was a tough few weeks, but he's doing much better now. He was like healthier and happier and stronger than I've ever seen him. So yeah, it was really nice to hang out with them over the weekend and see him doing so well.
And it was awesome. He sent those pictures, and he looked so good. He looks like he's grown so much. It seems like his health has bounced back because he can get the nutrition and stuff, and it's just amazing to see for how big of a struggle his whole entire life has been. So
yeah.
Thank you for sending that over to all of us. And that's the kind of relationship I have, and that's what I want people to know. Like, this is more than a band. It's a family. Like, we care about, your little nephew and stuff, and it's so important to us. So it's wonderful to see him doing so well.
And I know that, and I appreciate that. And I also felt like when I wanted to share some good news with everybody. It's nice when you hear something positive. It's like, every day you wake up and get a barrage of negativity from current events. So, it's nice to see something good happening.
Yeah, and it's wonderful. It's nice to see it not in a tweet, just you talking and telling us how it went. What's up, Marky?
You saying that, I was flipping through the channels the other day, and I don't know what news it was, but I stopped it at, like, I was doing something, but I just heard, I was like, there's a segment called On a Brighter Note. They have to have their own segment going.
Right.
Everything
Let's take a
fucking
minute.
sucks so much. Let's start something called On a Brighter Note.
And I think it's always at the end.
Yeah, and it's like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, that's really funny. On a brighter note.
You live in a world of hell. But on a brighter note.
Yeah.
Guess what? Here's a couple of things. Look at the dog. The
Yeah.
dog did a trick.
Here's a squirrel on water skis.
He's so cute.
That one's a classic. Real bad.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to end.
Was that 20 minutes? Oh, wow.
Yeah, Val.
That flew by.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
As they
Yeah.
said.
But yeah, I figured the more we do this like this, the more consistent we can be. If we keep it easy and light and fun. And
Yeah.
so feel free to email us, takingbacksundaypod@gmail.com. Send us questions, comments, whatever, and maybe we'll answer them if we want. I don't know. We just started this thing. Don't pressure me.
When you say that, Sean, when you say that, you should put it like, make it look professional looking and say, put Taking Back Sunday Pod. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know how to do that.
oh,
Yep. If
all
you
right, forget it.
It's a great idea.
OBS, if you get OBS, you can do it all in there pretty easily. And
That's OBS.
it's open broadcasting systems. Like it's just basically like software to where you could broadcast things out, but you can add like templates and things like that, even to video that's already recorded.
Awesome. I'm intrigued. I need a new hobby too. I've been playing harmonica, and
Do you have it with
Yeah.
you?
I'm not playing it on this thing yet.
Play us out.
I can barely get through a scale, but maybe
You learned
on
Piano Man yet?
number 2. Oh yeah, I'm working on it. I'll tell you in about 3 years. All right, guys, let's do this again next week. What do you say?
Cool.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right, later, everybody.
Bye
All
bye.
right.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.